recording now. All right, so just gonna do some very, very basic animations. We're gonna open a new Xcode project. A new project. Single view application, not using core data. Let's say animation demo. Okay, looks good. We're gonna save it on the desktop. And there we go. We have, wow, this is much faster than my computer. That's cool. So, all right, so let's see what we want to do. So how about we have like a button that's on the side, and when we click it, like a menu thing pops up, right? And we're gonna animate that pop-up menu. Okay. So first thing we're gonna need is a button. Okay. So we're gonna drag a button over here. Whoa. We'll put this over to the side here. Just give it some basic constraints. Make sure you're pinned to the side with the width and the height. Cool. And then we're gonna have a view. The view is gonna be over here on the left. Okay. So we're gonna make the view the entire width and the height, like that. And we're gonna say, hey, you know, when you start out, you're gonna be like that, like there. Okay. So we're gonna give you some constraints, and it's gonna be you're gonna be pinned to the top, to the bottom. You're gonna be pinned to the left, and I'm gonna give you a width, a defined width. Okay. And this width is gonna be let's say 300. Okay. Now let's give this guy a color so we can see it. Let's give you the blue color here. Cool. So when we we're showing you how to animate things. We're not really building something that's practical. Okay. So when I start, I want this to be hidden, to be onto the left side. Right. So in order to do that, I need to go ahead and drag in board. We're gonna select this guy, and we're gonna make an outlet. So control drag. This outlet is gonna be the, you know, the side view. And this button is gonna be, I'm gonna make an action for this button. So when I click it, I wanna say handle button pressed. It's gonna be of type UI button, touch up inside. Cool. So in order for me to set this guy's left constraint when the view loads, I need to actually make an outlet for that constraint to be able to target it. Because now when it loads, it's just there. I don't want it to be there by default. I want it to be to the side. So I would target that constraint. Control drag that over. Side view leading constraint. I want to say self dot side view leading constraint dot constant equals to negative 300 because I know the width is 300. Now I can also just, you know, get that width from that frame. So what I can do, because I have this outlet, I can say self dot side view dot frame dot width. That will give me 300 because that's what I set it as. Okay. So now let's say we want to run this. Let's run it on iPhone 5. I'm saving up for the Pro. Yeah, but this is way better than the one I have. Simulator. Okay, while we're waiting for that, let's just add some more code in here. So if all goes right, when the thing loads, I shouldn't see this blue view. But when I click the button, I want it to show up. So when I click the button here, I'm going to say self.sideView leading constraints. Whoa. Oh, you see what happened? The reason why it's shifted to the right and not to the left is because it's positive. I need to make that value negative. So I need to make this guy negative value for it to go left to hide itself. Okay? So let's say when I do click the button, I want the self.sideView leading constraints to be .constant to be equals to, let's say, negative 20, right? So the reason why I'm not making it 0, if it was 0, it would be like this. It'll be exactly to the side. But I'm making it negative 20 because when it bounces, I don't want to see white space. That's why I'm making it some negative value. So this is just arbitrary. I picked that. Maybe that's not enough, but we'll see. But right now, there's not going to be any animations. When I click the button, it's just going to show up. So let's stop this and run it. Okay, so it didn't show up. It's on the side. It's on this side. Okay, and if I click the button, it should come up, right? But right now, there's no animations for that. So if I wanted to animate, this is how I gotta do it. Let's make it minus 50 so that it's not covering the button. Or yeah, maybe minus like 70 so it's not covering the button. And then if I want this to animate, there's a few things that I need to write. All right, so here is the code to start animation. And this part you'll be copying and pasting all the time. So the first thing we need to do is self.view set needs layout, like that. So what you're telling the view with this piece of code is saying that, hey, the layout is going to change, and you need to re-update your UI for that. Okay. Now the next line is like the actual animation code. So it's going to be UI view dot animate, and we're going to do the one with duration and spring damping. Okay, so it's going to be this one. Okay, so the first parameter is the time in seconds, 0.6 seconds. The second one is the delay. Delay is 0. I don't want it to delay. The spring damping, I'm going to say 0.5. It's an integer between 0 and 1. Right? Initial spring velocity, I'm going to say 0.7. The options, okay, so the options here, you can say nil, but remember when I showed some of you guys, sometimes when things are animating, it stops like any other events from registering. So while this thing is animating, I can't click the button to just dismiss it right away. I have to wait until it's finished animating. So this is the part where you would put the code in to say allow user interactions while it's animating, right? So in order to do that, the code is this. It's going to take in an array, and inside of the array, you're going to say UI view animation options like that, and it's going to be dot allow user interaction. Okay, and if you want other options, you can just add into that array with a comma the next thing. Okay, so the animations, this one is here. So for the animations, this is what you're going to do. That is the function that's going to run for the animations. Okay, and this needs to be closed like that. And you can say when you're finished, in if you're finished, then do some stuff after the animation is finished. And you're going to need one more closing curly brace. And that should complete your animation cycle. So now you have this thing in here. This is going to be during the animation. This one is going to be after the animation. So you can call animations one after the other, like, and chain them together and give them delays and stuff. But we're not going to do anything when it's finished. I just like to have this code here, so if I were to do put an animation in something, I would just copy this entire piece of code and just paste it there, right? So during the animation, there's one piece of code that's very important that you need to add. So that is self.view.layout if needed. This one. So this piece of code is corresponding to this guy. So it's saying that, hey, you need a layout, and then this guy will actually execute that because the layout is indeed needed because this guy said you need to do it. Okay, so with this, now let's run it again and see what happens. All right, so this is the part that I added. This is the animation part. Okay. Boom. Animate. Right? It's not going to go back because I didn't write the code for it to go back, but I could do that. Right? So yeah, well, yeah, you just do this. You say, well, in order to actually have like a toggle, you can have like a, very easy way to do that is just to create a flag variable. So variable flag, this guy is going to be Boolean, and when the view did load the first time, I'm going to say self.flag equals to true, and then over here I can say if self.flag then do this, telling me to unwrap it. Yeah. Else, make it the thing that I made it in the beginning. Okay, this guy. And because the flag is true here, I need to set self.flag equals false. And here I need to set it to be true. Okay, so now if we run this, it should toggle back and forth.
So it's my div that's going up or down.
Yeah, It's the same idea if you animate anything. Like in my app, I have this thing where it's like a circle, and I click on it, and it just like expands with a little jiggle, right? That's the animations. So as long as you have this code, you can tweak it however you like.
And within here, there's no project button. Within there, it's just like whatever view you decide. Probably a table view.
Yeah, anything you want. And you can tweak the parameters. Screen damping to be 0.7, so it won't jiggle as much. You can make it go faster in the beginning or slower in the beginning.
So there are two views on that right there. There's the extra view that slides.
Mhm.
And there's the actual
Yeah. See how it's like going a little slower. Yeah, and you can go if you want to like really look at it. You can say debug slow animations, and when you click on it, it'll go really slow. Right? See how because I enabled user interaction, I can do this. If I didn't do it, I would have to wait until it's fully animated to be able to click on the button. Right? So that's something to keep in mind. Right? So yeah, that's it. Cool.